should be like you, Melvin.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Morning, Cherries fans. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And let me start off by welcoming my co-host, and it is indeed a pleasure. In fact, it is an honour to welcome Darren Hurst from Perth, Australia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Darren.
Hi, good evening, Malcolm. It's a pleasure to be here. I feel honoured. Watch the show regularly, and just to be here, participating is a great honour. I'm a great fan of Cherry FM, and hello and hi to everyone in the chat.
Yes, indeed. It's great to have you on board. We're going to just talk about basically the levels of Bournemouth, how far they've gone up this season. Do you believe that they are improving? Is the bar raised once more? And how we looking going ahead in the coming weeks? We'll also be asking Darren shortly about a bit of background, because it'd be interesting to find out how he became a Cherries fan, etc. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually start off going to the chat. Here we go. So Matthew Harrison, good morning. Morning all, just popped in quickly to say hi. Good luck, Malcolm, with hosting. I'm sure it'll be the first of many, and welcome to our debutant, Darren, the Cherry Down Under.
Hi, Matt.
So we'll catch up with the show later. Yeah, Matthew's working. Paul Sand, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Paul. Hope you're well.
Good morning, Paul.
Hi, Malcolm, Matt, and welcome, Darren, and everyone else in the chat. From Paul from Oz. So hi, Paul. Hope you're good.
G'day, Paul.
Good morning from Liam. Everyone, up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries. Hi, Liam.
Yeah, Chris Hubble. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Chris. Hope you're well.
Hi, Chris.
Tommy Parr. Good morning. Welcome. Hey, look who's here. Morning, all. Morning, Ollie. Good to have you in the chat, mate. So we'll move on to Darren. How the hell did you get to Australia? How did you get interested in AFC Bournemouth? Come on.
Well,
spill the beans.
I've got to be honest, I was a 1970s baby. So growing up, I was kicking cans around in the road as soon as I could, and the shout of "car" used to, dissipate people out the road pretty quick. There were a few cans that got run over, and we had to go and search for another. But yeah, that's how it started. And then I'll be honest, I started supporting Man United first of all, obviously only because you could see them televised and stay up late and watch Match of the Day and things, and collecting the Panama stickers in the albums. And from there, my first interest, what got me into Bournemouth, I was lucky enough at 14, I went to go and see the FA Cup game with Man United. And of course, I was there supporting Man U, and I'm thinking, who's this Bournemouth, the local team? I managed to catch a bus from Poole Bus Depot, got off at Bournemouth, and got on the third tier I stood on the stands there when they were still standing. And, Bournemouth beat them 2-0.
Amazing.
And from that day on, I was like, do you know what? If they can beat Man U, this is my local team. I'm supporting them. So from that day on, mate, I've had cherries in my heart.
Good for you. Yeah, I was also at that game. So, yeah, what an amazing day that was. Yeah, good for you. So how did you get down to Australia then? Obviously, it's, you don't have to say too much, private life or whatever, but.
No, I know there's a few others, obviously, in Australia, but my personal journey was my wife's brother. He moved over 3 years earlier, and we followed over in 2008. Managed to get over here on a skilled visa as a permanent resident. Became a citizen within 4 years of being here, so I'm a true and true Aussie now, mate. And people, it's weird because when I speak to relatives and friends back home from Dorset in Poole, they now say that I have an Aussie twang in quite a lot of my words, and they call it a mixture of Dorset and Australian, and they call it Dorset alien.
Yeah, I get that because I know when I speak, obviously being in Berlin, and sometimes I'll throw in a German word, and it just happens, and they say, "Oh, you're talking Dinglish," So I get all that. Great stuff. Well, thanks for the info, Darren. I think what I want to move on to is with the last result and the performance against Tottenham. Do you think that Andoni's raised the bar again, or do you think it's just a continuation from last season? What are your thoughts? And I'm maybe going, moving on, obviously after the international break. So, what's your thoughts on? Come on, immediate future. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to say season long because that's ridiculous. You don't have to do that.
We know we're on this 5-year plan, and to date, from the start of this season, I really do think that Andoni is the silent assassin. He keeps his cards very close to his chest. He's very humble, very honest. He'll put his hands up like he did with the Brentford game. Made too many changes, he admitted it. And that's what I love about him. There's other managers out there who would blame everyone else but themselves. But no, I really do think that Andoni is the key. You need a ringmaster for the circus of chaos, and he is the orchestrator. I'm not too much stressed or concerned about the season. We're going places. But the only thing, if I was worried, is keeping Andoni. He's the key to the lock at the moment. And like I say, he's a silent assassin. We are going places, but we're doing it silently.
Yes, that's brilliant. But it's not just Andoni, is it? It's everything about behind closed doors, isn't it? With recruitment from top level, you don't get anything out of them, which is great. And I mean, I love it. I can understand fans' frustration and not getting any news from time to time, especially like over the past weeks with the transfer window. Fans bombarding social media. Why aren't we signing players and everything? That is just another part of it. But we trust the process, as we always say, and great. But the performance level, obviously, against Tottenham was superb. I have already stated, for me, that was the very best full team performance over 90 minutes. And I know we had some classic games last season, but totally dominating like we did from the first minute was unbelievable. It was a superb watch. And I'm not going to even go down the road about lack of goals or anything, because that, to me, is just a load of blah, blah, blah. That will all come in good time. But do you think they're going to stay at the same level, the intensity and everything?
I think, yes. I mean, that's Bournemouth style. We go out, ever since Eddie Howe and way back in the day, it's always been you play with passion, you play for each other. And there's one of the shirts I've got up here, and on the back of the collar, it says, "Together, anything is possible."
Yeah, absolutely.
And the players play for each other. It's almost like they're gelling now, the regulars, and the new ones coming in, give them 3 or 4 games, lots of training sessions, etc. They'll be the same. They know where each other are. They know how to, as a unit, to track down the pressure, to gain possession, and ultimately create those chances. If you don't create the chances, you can't score the goals. Exactly. Now, at the moment, we've got 100% correct. We are tracking, we're dispossession, and we're creating the chances. The last little dot on the I is putting them away. There's plenty of chances there.
Yeah, perfect. So let's jump back to the chat shortly.
Yep.
So David DeCosta, good morning. Good luck, Malcolm and Darren. Yeah, thanks, David. Good morning. Good day to you. Lots of Aussies on tonight, Malcolm. Hi, Dave from Melbourne. Paul from near Sydney.
Hey, Dave.
Dan Short. Hi, Malcolm and Darren. Good morning to you, Dan. Good to have you on board. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks for your message this morning, by the way.
Morning, Chris.
Doug Horn, good morning to you. Morning, Malcolm and Darren. Nice to see you, Malcolm, hosting. Yeah, thanks very much. Liverpool, what can we say? Good for you. Good for you. They managed to get the signings in you wanted, bar the last one, unfortunately, but that's football. I can't see anything but Liverpool taking the title. I know they didn't play particularly well against Arsenal, but what a piece of magic from that Hungarian of yours. My goodness me. So, Paul Sand, he's definitely raised the bar. I've been watching Bournemouth 50 years plus, likewise, and that was the best performance I've ever seen. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. So we did see some really outstanding performances last season. Superb. Nick Gillings, good morning to you.
Morning, Nick.
Iraola is a great manager and is great for Bournemouth. 2 wins and a loss is a great start to the season. Should have beaten Spurs at least 2, 3 or 4-0. It was a dominant performance. Totally agree. Yeah, thanks, Doug. Agree, Malcolm. It was as good as I've seen. Yeah. For those that follow football, especially obviously Bournemouth, because they know not only their recent history. I mean, I've been going for quite a few years. I mean, I started in '68, so seen some pretty dire stuff. I've been the old Dean Court with just over 1,000 people in there in the 4th division, and you can never envisage, how we are today. Absolutely superb. Question from Dan Shaw. Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one now, isn't it? I mean, have you got any views on this, Darren? Who do you think will get the sack first? I mean, I don't like to talk about managers getting sacked because it's, it's somebody's job. That the hardest job in the world is being a football manager.
Absolutely, trying to get the best out of the players. I don't know. There's obviously a lot of people who, again, will post negativity. I don't like to think that anyone will get the sack. To be honest with you, I like the fact that the fans are supporters, and that's not just of the club. It's the managers, it's the players, it's the background staff, it's the academies, it's everything that goes on in the background, all the way down to grassroots to the groundsmen, and the cleaners of the ground. It starts from the bottom and goes to the top. So I think positive mental attitude. Let's talk about who's going to be the best manager and perform, rather than those who are going to get sacked. I don't want to put anyone's name on the line.
A good point. Now I'm just going to throw something in here. Darren actually took some time off work today, unpaid apparently. So I'm just thinking maybe we'll start a GoFundMe for him. I don't know what you think of that. Yeah, it's a very good question actually, Dan. And I go along with what Darren says. I prefer to see the positives in football, and it's normal. Let's just say media speculation and just to write stories and sell papers or clicks or whatever. I think if you looked at it last week, you'd have said Potter, all right? And then what does he do? He goes and turns out and gets a 3-0 win away from home. So you can't, can you? You really can't. I mean, I don't know. I hope, to be honest with you, that the scrap is really, I say the scrap, the fight is going to be so intense that teams will cancel each other out, draw some, win some, lose some. And that just by getting results in, the board will say, you're like, hang on, we're getting points on the board now. We can't sack him. So catch 22.
Can I just add to that, Matt? I think people's expectations are way too high. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. I mean, Andoni put his hand out. He made a mistake against Brentford. Did everyone start shouting for his head on the? Let's hang him at the gallows in the village square. We all
Rubbish,
make
isn't it? It's rubbish. Difference with the manager getting sacked, they get paid very well when they get sacked. Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're contracted as well. There's clauses in their contracts. So, yeah, totally agree. David DaCosta says, will it be in dollars or pounds? It might even be in yen, actually, but who knows? But hey ho. There's something else I wanted to touch on. I don't know if any of you saw it yesterday. I posted a video which came up on YouTube of tactics and analysis. Now, the guy is a Tottenham fan, but what he produced there was actually brilliant assessment of the game. I think it's about 10 or so minutes long. And I was dumbfounded. I'm thinking, wow, this guy knows his stuff. I mean, that's his passion. And he says that in the video. But if you sit and watch that for 10 minutes and look at the lines that he's drawn and the explanations behind it all, it was absolutely top draw. So go on to our Facebook page. You'll see it on there. Well worth the watch. I say thanks very much for putting that out. And oddly enough, this morning, as I generally do every morning, I go on BBC Sport, click on Bournemouth, and a journalist actually copied what that guy said. So I just thinking, hey ho, so we know where not to click in the mornings now, don't we? Right, so Ollie's here. Legend Darren, haha. Great show already, Mal. Knew you would smash it. The important thing is learning from what's happening in each game. Irola is brilliant at that. Exactly. It's not always going to run smoothly. Things will happen in football. We can say, okay, suspensions, injuries, whatever, bad decisions. There's just so many things that can influence games. Some of our players might have a bad day at the office like Tottenham did. Just, it's on the day, it's form, isn't it? So just learn from that. And from every mistake that's made, they'll take that back to the training ground. They'll assess everything and say, look, this is what we did wrong. So try and correct it and then move on again and again. And it's just repetitive. I think it's absolutely superb that Andoni puts his hand up. He doesn't always tell you everything, which is great because we don't want to know everything. Let him do his job. And he's doing it superbly. Super stuff. So, and Chris says, I agree with you, Ollie. Okay, now, I don't know if anybody in the chat has or does play football at grassroots level. All right, now, this is something Darren and I had a chat at the weekend, and something came out of that chat. I'll let Darren explain that in a minute. But if there's anybody in the chat who has played grassroots football, what clubs you played for, local teams, whatever, and how did it sort of influence your interest in not only football itself, but moving on, maybe you were a Cherries fan beforehand, maybe you weren't, etc. So come on, Darren, let's find out what you did.
Obviously got interested in football very young age, kicking the cans around in the street, and then progressed into school. I went to Hillbourne Middle School.
Didn't they have footballs on Waterloo Estate?
Hey, mate, as a council estate, there weren't many proper leather footballs. we used to actually roll up newspaper and cover it with tape And that was our cheap footy.
Yep.
That was our cheap footy. But now started playing football, grassroots, probably at the age of 10, 12. Hillwall Middle School, got into the team. And then, from there, progressed, through the teenage years, let's say, until you leave school. And then in the end, our conversation got to who we'd played for on a lengthy basis. And I used to play Dorset Division 3 East for a club called Morden. And if anyone don't know that, it's out opposite the Cock and Bottle, which is a great country little pub. So I played grassroots for Morden for probably about 10 or 12 years.
Wow.
Until both my knees went.
That is awesome. Now, the shock comes now. I'm sat here. We actually did this like now, how we do this show. And I was sat there open mouthed and in total disbelief. I said, "Did you say Morden?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Morden and Bloxworth?" And he said, "Yeah, that's the one." I actually played for the same team, not at the same time as Darren, a few years earlier. Had a couple of seasons with them. Absolutely loved it out there. Sloping pitch, diagonally sloping, I should add. Great fun, great bunch of guys. It was just fun to turn up. It was having something outside of work, as a pleasure, and if you've got a passion for football, it doesn't matter if you can kick a ball properly or not. You're integrated in with a group of guys who all just want to have their fun. And it never got over serious, let's put it that way. I mean, obviously, when you play the top teams, they are a little bit aloof, to be honest with you. But, on the same level, it's just 11 against 11. Go and have a good old crack at it, Yeah, so that was a really nice memory that Darren brought back. And he obviously mentioned the trainer and his wife who used to make the tea at halftime. Brilliant. It's just so uncanny that Darren is there in Perth and there's me sitting in Germany and we have a connection, in our grassroots football. So, wow. So I'm just going to pop back into the chat. Chris Hubble says, "Are you a Formula One fan, Mal?" Yeah, Chris, I was up until that. How can I put it without sounding unbiased?
Be nice.
That incident with what was it? It was the restart, wasn't it?
Yeah. Bahrain.
Yeah. The safety car restart, Bahrain. Yeah. But that broke all the rules for me, and I thought, this is corrupt. This is not what I want to watch. And since then, I haven't watched anything. And I was passionate about watching Formula One. I've watched it for years, loved it.
Sorry.
But when at a top level you've got this corruption, and you try and prove me otherwise, I think no, it just stinks. And I say I don't want to be any part of it. Okay, here we go. Paul Sand, I played for Court Hill Middle Seldown Secondary School the Sunday morning. Good for you. Good for you. Glad to hear it. The Londoners, guys, do us a favour, please. Could you get Sterling and Disasi to unlock full potential of Petrovic? The only Sterling we want is pound sterling. I mentioned this yesterday, actually. We did actually look at Disasi. And what do you mean by the potential of Petrovic? I mean, we are quite happy with him, to be honest with you. Darren, your views?
Yeah, absolutely. He dominates that box. He comes out, he catches the ball. How many seasons have we had a keeper? I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but we needed that. We needed somebody to dominate the box, come out, actually catch the ball, gain possession, get the quick throws out. Let's break on, let's put an opportunity for an attack. He's good at that. And people can say, oh, yeah, he's over it a few balls and put them in the touch. Oh, well, let's fine-tune that. He's still a great keeper. I think he's a great signing.
Yeah, I mean, when keepers kick the ball out and goes into touch, I mean, from Bournemouth perspective, Doesn't matter, does it? Because we want them to have the ball, and we go again.
Yep.
So it might be a bit frustrating for the fans to think, oh God, we've given the ball away cheaply, but at the same time they're playing into our hands. So in effect, it's not a bad decision, is it?
No.
If you're looking at it that way. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Paul Sam Chav, Persia, my Sunday team. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Is there anybody else out there that played grassroots? It'd be good to hear from you. And also how your love for Bournemouth started. Okay, I can throw back to the first game I saw. Can't remember the opposition for the love of me. It was 1968. I was a young lad with my brothers there, and wow, look at this! Look at the players, the fans, so many people. I'm thinking this is crazy, and just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And it's more or less, it was like an injection, and it stayed in the blood ever since. So super stuff. So moving on in the chat, people keep shouting about Sterling and Disasi, haha. Welcome the Londoners. Thanks, Ollie. Please make Kluivert play more. Can say the CAM market value being more volatile in future, so Menu is Osho looking to move to a top 6 club next year. Do you know that? Can you, give us a little bit more insight? It's already started. I mean, I've had, I don't know if you've seen it, Darren, still links with Tottenham, even after the window's closed. And I'm just thinking, this is absolute garbage. What's the matter with people? Can't they get lives or whatever? Also about Andoni, and I'm just thinking, stop, this is just unnecessarily. You don't need any of this.
Yeah. They've already put him in the picture for Man United. I mean, come on.
I can't. I mean, Kluivert, obviously we want him to play more, but he was injured. That's why he hasn't played, for your information. The same with Christie. They were both out injured, but they're slowly coming back, being integrated, getting more minutes. Watch this space. Yeah. Be good to see. Paul's hand, my dad's first AFCB game was a prisoner of war, and the camp sergeant took him. Wow. So, yeah, brilliant. Family history, super. Nobody's going to take that away from you. No. That is superb. Do we want to do a little talk on transfers, Darren? I think you got some notes there that you.
Yeah, I've got a couple of notes. I thought it was very interesting. Out of a Premiership expenditure and a rival's income and the balance, Liverpool, no surprise, have spent $483 million in this transfer window. They had 219 in income, and they're in a deficit of $264 million. I mean, it's no wonder they're, top of the league and the favourites. But to put that in perspective, little old Bournemouth, the surprise winners of many a team last year, we basically spent 138 million. So compared to Liverpool, we're 350 million less, a massive amount. We got 238 in revenue from selling our, good players to top clubs all over the world. And out of the 20 teams in the league, we currently are at the maximum profit of everybody. We got $100.31 million in profit. Now, people say, football's all about business. It's all about money. And I remember when Bill Foley was, buying the club, everyone went, he's American. He just wants to make money out of the club. He just wants to make it a business. Football is business. But I'll tell you what, Bournemouth, Bill Foley, hats off to him. This is clever business. Very clever.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. We've actually, moved players on probably for more than they're worth. Yeah. Not everyone, obviously, but yeah, the odd one or two. And yes, you have to pay the money to get the players in, but it's getting the right players to fit the system and Bournemouth sort of look outside the bubble a little bit more, or the radar, what other clubs are looking at. Yes, several clubs might be linked with a player we're chasing, but how big is the interest? How big is the purse that they got is another point. And I think, to be honest with you, the money we paid out, yes, Diakate is the second most expensive player we signed. But for a centre back, that's pretty decent money, and obviously he's shown with his performances already. I know it's early doors, but what he can actually do. So let's just have a little. There's rather a lot in the chat here. Tommy says news has been a little quiet on Akimboni. Wonder who our fourth choice centre back is with the new signings. Yeah, good question. Who is? So we got the young lad coming. Your thoughts on Milos? I'm going to call him Milos because it's a mouthful for me.
Yeah, I mean, Veljko Milosavljević, I think is the best I can pronounce it, but I'm going to call him Milo the Savage. I've watched his YouTube tubes, and man, this guy, 18, he is already destined to be world class. He's played international. He's played for his country all through the ranks. He is absolutely sensational. I'm really looking forward to him getting some time, and it might only be 20 minutes here and 20 minutes there at the start, at the end of the game to begin with. But man, this guy is phenomenal. A truly amazing signing.
That would be really interesting. Now, what if he subs off? Just as an example, come on. He subs off Senesi and the young lad comes in, and this young lad does exactly what Dean Howson did.
I was just going to say the same.
I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting. It really is exciting for me. So I'm not saying that will happen because Senesi had an absolute blinder at Tottenham, and I'd like to see him, just keep his place. To be honest with you, but yeah, Andoni does have to obviously give the players minutes, and we don't know until they're actually on the field what they can do. Yeah. So yeah, watch this space. So Ollie, Liverpool have spent more of this transfer market than the total price of Newcastle, and they got bought a few years ago at 350 million. Insane, absolutely insane. My take on the transfer market is that thank God it's over. It went on far too long. Every day, if you were looking for some information, didn't matter what app you were looking on or on the internet, the same names kept propping up, and I'm just thinking, Jesus, with respect, this just isn't right. It's saga after saga. It's like worse than Coronation Street, to be honest with you. Yeah, please.
You can do it all again in January.
Well, I've only got 2 words to say to you, Darren. The second one's off, mate. All right, so, but thank goodness the window's closed. Let's concentrate on football. Yep. The press will keep talking about this until January, like they do. Heaven forbid. So here we go. From the Londoners now, just my intuition. People like to perform better in good clubs, and then those top 6 fellas come up with financial upgrades for the players. We've seen Isak was out, Waymo is great. Okay, there will always be standout players in the Premier League. Don't matter what club they play for, they will shine. There will be or if you're lucky, you got two good players in one team. I mean, we were fortunate last season. We had more than 2 good players in our team, which is a bit unusual. But having said that, yeah, there are standout players, and let's say he went to Bayern Munich from Palace. That was no surprise. Top player. Shame he didn't stay in England because for the Premier League it would be superb. To keep him in the Premier League wasn't going to happen, so off he went. Others, I mean, yes, there are players apart from those that this guy's here mentioned. Have been asking for lots of money, big moves and everything, but are they really that good? There are several out there. I just don't get it. big surprise for me was Harvey Elliott going to Aston Villa. Didn't see that happening, but good luck to him. Good luck to the young lad. Brilliant player. There are just too many movements. We're going to need a couple of weeks, I think, just to work out who plays for who now. It's just the way it goes. David DeCosta, early days, Paul and I played Sunday League from Oz, played in the same team, and later Alexander, Sam, Way Sunday League, Div 3, whatever that is. You might know, Darren, I haven't a clue.
Other side of the country.
He could be talking Chinese there for all I know. So, come on, Paul. Played for Porchester School under 12s, the first 11 in the 60s. Then in Australia, played for Mittagong in New South Wales. Scored 117 goals in 10 seasons until snapped Achilles tendon. Wow. Ouch. And that is why I stopped playing. But I wasn't, there was just some nice happenings from the opposition, I'm afraid. That killed it for me. So that was my goal to getting into watching the Cherries. Paul Sand, I think we have the best owner, best manager in the league. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. St. George's with Paul, says David DeCosta. Do you know what that is? So here we go. Ollie, Milo the Savage. Absolutely love that. Please allow me to use that moving forward, Darren.
Absolutely, mate. I want to find a song that's going to match something with Milo the Savage or something.
Something will come up. It's bound to. Something's bound to come up. I love it. Really excited about the players we got in. It's good because nobody could see. We were getting players in that other clubs wouldn't really be looking at, to be honest with you. Yeah, we had links with a couple of others. I know things for some reason never worked out, and also those that have left us, either loan or just gone, on a permanent. Shame, but that's football. It evolves. It evolves, and this time next year we could probably be saying the same thing again. Who knows? But hopefully, I think learning from last season and with transfers, one thing and another, maybe the contracts will be a little bit better suited. That the players we're getting in now, they will be over a minimum 2-year period, which falls into the plan of the 5-year project from Bill. So yeah, please. And
on that note, Malcolm, I think Bournemouth have always been, a good stepping stone. A lot of players see it as get a chance to play in the Premiership to get into a bigger team. This season, I really do believe what we got with the academy and the training facilities, hopefully going Cat 1 this year, I think we're going to be the club that people want to come to and stay.
I think it's already happening, Darren. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I mean, you have to present a good project to encourage people to want to join, and it's not just talk. They can actually show it. They got proof there, and obviously the icing on the cake will be at the end of the season when the stadium gets an uplift or an upgrade. That that can only help and encourage people.
If anyone if anyone in the chat or watching hasn't seen the academy, please do watch it. I think it's a 6-part series, and it tells you a lot of the stuff that you don't see. It's not televised, it's not advertised, it's not promoted, but it shows you how much Bournemouth are evolving with this academy, bringing local players through, attracting outside players. When they see the training facilities we have, they're world class. Yeah, and that is part of the journey.
That's the pathways, isn't it? 6-part series. Yeah. So. Yeah, do check it out. Now, before I forget, please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. That'll help the channel. Yeah. And I think with that, we can wrap it up now, Darren. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure, but I'm an honest bloke. It's been a real pleasure having you on board this morning. If we can do this again sometime, I'd love to have you on board. And thanks to the others for allowing me to host this show. Really, really kind of you. And all I can say is have a great Wednesday and up the cherries.
It's been a
Take
pleasure.
care, take care, Darren, and we'll see you again soon.
Definitely. Up the cherries.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.